Hello, everyone. How's it going? Turn down music a little bit there. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. To all the Americans out there, hope you had a good Thanksgiving Day weekend as well. I'm fishing today. I mean, listen, until they fix it, I'm going to be taking full advantage of the broken fishing tables in Timbermaw Hold. I mean, as far as open water fishing, you can't get better for stone scale. You just need like 230 fishing. And you catch high level fish. It's easy gold. I always suggest to anyone who wants to watch like a Netflix series or just chill and do something else. It's easy. You can sit, put your camera facing yourselves, and then just passively rake in the dough. But if you're someone who's like, oh, I could probably automate that, don't do that. The GMs will come after you. I know, because I've been I've been approached by GMs. They even they know they know who I am, but they'll still check. They don't care if they think someone's been staying still for too long. They'll check. Hello, Rauk Hangren. Hello, Sonic. I wonder if I broke something with the YouTube chat. YouTube chat's been very quiet. Maybe we should double check on that. Oh, I could just test here. Oh, hold on. Nope. It's working. YouTube has lurkers in it. So yeah, I did have a thing at the beginning of the stream. It's my birthday weekend, and well, not really. Technically, it is my birthday weekend in that I'm taking Monday off, and that does mean Sonic has birthday soon as well. I'm really excited because sometimes I really don't like the pomp and circumstance of people having 40th birthdays. So I am 40, but I told my sister, who's mostly the one that does all the party planning and family get-together stuff, and I said I don't want to have a big 40th birthday party. It's a completely arbitrary number. And I'm like, you know what would be cool if we only celebrated prime number birthdays. So my 41st is a big birthday because it's a prime number birthday. Now I'm locked in. That's right. However, so what I'm planning on doing for my birthday is on tomorrow. I'm going to, I don't know if anyone's ever been to these before, but I'm going to a, what is it called? A paint bar. And I had been to them before. They're pretty fun. I don't know if you've ever been. You basically, you have some sort of art instructor who shows you how to do some kind of painting they're doing. And then you drink wine and then paint. It's pretty cool. Huh. Where did my sound go for the game? Ah. That's where it went. Okay. I mean, Rauk Hangren, I think that's a better reason to celebrate certain numerical birthdays more than anything else. Also, low-key, what did you do on your birthday? You managed to climb out of your mom. Your mom did all the work on that day. Your dad probably also had to deal with your mom. If you had two parents, you know. who were available at the time of your birth. You know, what makes you so special? They did all the work. Hello, Fleur. How's it going? I mean, you know, I like my mom's not with us anymore, but I still thought it was weird that I'm like, because every time you have a birthday, especially when you get older, you get to hear like, oh, I remember, you know, so many years ago, I was in the hospital and I was giving labor and labor took this long. I like those stories. Those stories are actually the ones that I'm like, okay, all right, I hear you, Mom. I hear you. The 7-year cycle is less a birthday, more of a ship of Theseus day. Yeah, that's when your body has decided that every single cell in your body need to be replaced. Although I don't know if that's true for bones, because those are made with osteoblasts, and they specifically gather calcium carbonate and then become bones. I don't think you replace those. I know you'll get new marrow cells, but Fleur, I'm glad to hear it. I'm still just Alt-Z, by the way. I have no idea what I'm catching. It's going to be fun. I'm going to look at my my bags after. It'll be like a surprise. And if anyone is curious where I am, you can get up to Timbermaw Hold. You kind of go... You go a little bit further north than where I am along the mountain ridge, and you'll find a path to go up. Lovely view here, too, with all the furbolgs. Yeah, Route Kingren, I'm about to get real cerebral and weird, which isn't weird for me, but normal for me. So, when I was... I watched a video, I think it was from... Veritasium. It was this interesting simulation they ran about how complex proteins in like sort of a controlled environment will continue to not self-propagate, but they'll continue to complexify and complexify. And they showed this in this simulation. It was really cool. Hello, Neflorma. Nephaloma, there it is. We got it. Sorry, would you... Oh! Also a GM. Well, I wasn't nervous until now. You'll see that I'm clicking Nephaloma. Hold on, wait. I am clicking on every cast I promise. No bots here. Yeah, Rock Kingren, I just don't know if your bones count as cells or more they count as the remnants of a dead cell. And does that 7 number really carry through your entire life? Or is it just like an average over your lifetime? Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I'm the darling. Everyone on the turtle team has some sort of an opinion about me, but most of them are positive. So probably because of my unwavering support of the GMs, I'll have GMs sometimes visit me. I had some. Who was that? I think it might have been Sleep. I explained this on a previous stream, but I got my illusions or skins messed up on my shaman, and I put in the ticket like, hey, this is Vrograg, I messed up, and Sleep like teleported me to like a chamber of shame, shamed me for not knowing what I'm doing, and then fixed it. There's some tough love from the GM team, but I love them. Really? So your bones count as cells? Interesting. I remember from biology, like, how they're made with osteoblasts. I thought that process was really cool. It's a little bit like how I did study a good amount of like botany and stuff in college, and I remember learning about how like certain cells in trees becomes like just solidified lignin. And if you're actually looking at a tree, a very small percentage of its mass most likely is actually like living matter. It's like this thin film between the bark and the actual wood of the tree, and then going up through the branches into the leaves, and then like the root system is like the actual living part of a tree. The rest of it's all like just dead cells. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. They're sort of like, it's almost like a mold slime that grows up a tree but like leaves behind something. And lignin's weird too, because like not many things can even digest lignin. It's like termites and probably some other specialized insects. It's almost like plants don't want us to eat them. Except for when they do. And that makes it even more weird. So, what do you think of the clearly broken fishing table here? Oh, I missed that cast. Well, Rao Kangren, that's exactly the case with the lignin cells that make up tree or wood, essentially. They don't receive any nutrients anymore. They're just dead. No lure yet. Catching dark claw, lobsters, stone scale, etc. I did report it. You should. It is easy passive income, and I love fishing. You know what I should do tomorrow? I should just not go to sleep tonight and then try to do the fishing derby. And then lose, but still try to do it. There's a couple fishing items I never got because it's a European server. They're Sunday morning, like brutally early Sunday morning fishing time. It just never worked for me. I've thought about it, ZZ. I've definitely thought about it. Well, that's true. I could typecast you, Fleur, what she's saying. Oh, you know what though? Hold on. Let me get my chat bubbles are up. Oh, it's because I had Alt-Z on. Okay, if the GM says anything, you'll be able to see it too. But essentially, I said, so what do you think of the clearly broken fishing lake or table? And then she said, it's broken, I wouldn't know. Then I explained how it's broken. And then she said, I suppose I'll have to come back to this place. And I said, yeah, it's easy passive income, and I love fishing. And they gave a smiley emoji. How's the shift been? By the way, if you ever do encounter GMs, whether it's through a ticket or you bump into them and you think they're on duty, it's polite to ask how their shift has been, because they have to deal with idiots all day. And if you give them some space to vent, they really appreciate it. BWL extension hype. I am actually genuinely excited about that Dragonovi. By the way, everyone say hi to Dragonovi, Dev. Although if I think Fleur's also on the team, maybe, if that is the same Fleur I'm thinking of. BWL is still to this day my favorite raid. I just like the aesthetic of the raid. It's one of the reasons I joined Blackwing Guard, because they are situated right across from there at their guild base. Their lore is about fighting the Black Dragonflight. I love Nefarian, how he does a little bit of fourth wall breaking, how, like, you know, he has these grand plans, but he's like a master manipulator. He's working with his sister, who's like stationed in Stormwind to manipulate everything. And then, like, you go into, you know, the upper reaches of Blackwing Lair, and you see, like, these bloody pools where he's been doing experiments to make the perfect chromatic dragon. It's just such a cool vibe. Like, yeah, I mean, the raid itself is, you know, it is what it is. But I think it's kind of squarely in what I like the most about, like, this era of like, raiding. I like dragons, too, so that helps. Yeah, I didn't want to out you, Fleur. I didn't want to out you, but... Is there info about the BWL extension? There might be. We can check. Let me, forums. Oh, sorry. I'll let you guys join along on the ride while I look for this. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Yes. Alright, so we go to patch notes and change logs in the forums. We want to look for 1.18.1 Nightmares of Ursal. Alright, let's see what we can find here. If they publish or make official any information, they usually will update the forum post. And then we can also take a look at the Twitter where they'll post stuff. So this is about Onyxia's lair. I don't see anything new there. Although there's this guy. That's a new creature. Looks like they gave him a different head and a cool looking axe. Otherwise, look, the model looks pretty similar. Though, do they normally have wings? I guess the wings are new. Those really cool weapon models too. Can I? Oh yeah. Oh, those are really cool. The modeling team's been doing some good work. Blackwing Lair extensions and updates. Added a new mechanic or updated a mechanic for all bosses with the exception of Chromagus. Added a new section and with it a new optional boss, Ezreal Dark Brewer. So I think we knew this previously. This is supposed to be the tech pack leader. Hello, Adara. Sorry. Yeah, Adaria? Yeah, I'm going to say that. Hello, Adaria. Welcome. As it might be a goblin, it's well saturated, is known by no means a pushover. With an arsenal of chemical concoctions and a brilliant mind sharpened by many years in the field, he's ready to thwart any intruder stepping into his employer's laboratory. This is kind of exciting, too. This is a big win for goblins. There's not much goblin representation in late game. There's a lot of night elves, there's humans, there's orcs, you know what I mean? Representing some of, like, the characters that are in play. Not many Taurens. There are trolls, but goblins aren't well represented. This would be great for goblin representation. You know, goblins can be bad guys too. So let me also see. I'll do this one off of here, just in case. The only way I even interact with Twitter at all nowadays is just for this. Is just to look at Turtle WoW stuff. Alright. Let's see if they had anything new to drop. I know for a lot of the RP community, this is a really big deal. Female satyrs, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. This has been a hotly demanded skin, hotly demanded creature type. You know, I think that's awesome. This is, I haven't seen this. So that looks like a satyr, but he found clothes. Man, I should be able to pickpocket this guy. I'm sorry. I know you can't pickpocket demons, right? But, like, can we make an exception that a satyr wearing clothes should have his pockets picked? I will gladly give up ghosts. I don't want to pickpocket ghosts anymore, but I want to pickpocket that satyr. This is them talking about the female satyr. There's a cool little illustration by someone in the community that made this. I love community-made stuff. It's cute. Earthen Ring Quartermaster. Yeah, I don't see any new news about what they're doing with Blackwing Lair. So as far as we officially know, every boss is going to have a new mechanic, except for Chromagus, which makes me a little worried about Nefarian. Now, just to sort of cover this, I have many times asked high-ups in the teams, I'm like, hey, you know Nefarian doesn't do a Shadow Breath thing to the raid, right? And they're like, yep. I'm like, are you ever going to put it back in? They're like, nah, we can't at this point. So the reason that is because back when the server was really small, you know, getting someone to provide all the necessary Onyxian cloaks for an entire raid worth of people was very difficult. So I don't know if it was broken at start or if they broke it on purpose. So when I see every new boss except for Chromagus is going to have a new mechanic, that does make me worried that I'm like, are they going to turn Shadow Breath back on? But it could be something completely different. What I would personally like to see is I think some of the class calls to maybe have a little variety. Like, for instance, if you're a DPS Feral Druid and you get your class call, literally there is no difference for you. You get turned into a cat, which you already were, right? If you're a bear tank, it is a little bit more difficult to tank because if you get the class call, you turn into a cat and you die. The paladin class call is just kind of annoying. Like, don't get me wrong, class calls should be, I guess, annoying to a certain extent, but it's just, it shuts out one half of the DPS. Like, melee just sits around and goes, alright, cool. I guess I'll just watch my rage go away. While casters get to parse big. With the existence of melee hunters, the hunter class call doesn't really move the needle at all. Mage class call is still deadly. that one doesn't need changing. The warlock one's fine. The shaman one's probably the most terrifying because there's a world where Nefarian heals himself and also gets a Wind Fury hit. So that one is still that one doesn't need tuning up. Warrior one is, I mean, it's not the worst. And the priest one is kind of is a little weird, right? That one makes it so that all priest heals do shadow damage. But if you're a DPS priest, it doesn't matter, really. And it's mostly like a composition check. So if you have a lot of priests, you might accidentally kill your tank. So I don't know if that one would need an adjustment. Is there any classes I forgot? The rogue one is kind of broken on Turtle WoW. So I think in vanilla, what he's supposed to do is, if you're a rogue, you're supposed to get teleported to the front of Nefarian. And then, you know, he's like, oh, stupid rogues always trying to attack me from behind. How do you like it if you're in front of me? Except what he actually does in the game is he teleports you to like his center, which, okay, like sometimes the spacing's a little weird. You might get caught up in a cleave, but you're usually fine and you just vanish out of it anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I think some of the class calls for Nefarian could be updated or changed or maybe varied. Sorry, now I'm going to look at chat now. I'm done my diatribe. Daria, stream's going great. I'm just fishing up here in Timbermaw Hold, having a great time. Scythen says, Phoenix has a unique razor gore. The mind control didn't work, and a hunter has to kite the boss in a big figure 8 around the room, and the eggs had health, and they were killed by the raid and spawned drakes. Huh. As someone who plays a hunter but doesn't know how to kite because I only do melee, that sounds terrifying. But that actually sounds kind of fun. Puts a lot of responsibility on the weight of hunters, but I mean, you know, it also gives them a utility, so I think it's fine. More gender variants of other races like female ogres. Now, female ogres, like, in lore, do they exist? Or are ogres from Outlands kind of like orcs from Warhammer 40k and they just spawn and they're all just masculine? Surely there's female ogres, right? That's actually a good point, though. Yeah, Scythen. Also, everyone, Scythen is the level 1 lunatic ambassador to the to the Turtle WoW community. So if you have any questions about level 1 lunatic stuff, ask Scythen. Scythen's done a lot of work and a lot of promoting things to make level 1 lunatic have like essentially their own gameplay mode. They have their own bosses, have their own raids, essentially. It's interesting. If you ever want to check it out too, I fully suggest it. You don't have to invest a lot. You just need a level 1 character. So, you know, they got a Discord. You can get hooked up with them. Did you see our Mutanus kill? No, and if I'm going to be honest, I mean, like, no, little self-disclosure. I mean, I think I've shared with stream before, but, you know, ever since I got notification that Blizzard had subpoenaed Google for my personal information, man, it has been so much harder to even think about doing Turtle WoW content. That stuff got me so stressed, man. So, like, I've just been just trying to put my head down, play the game. I've not been as focused on content or community stuff. And I mean, like, I don't think anyone's faulted me for that, but so there's been some stuff I've just been out of the loop on just because I've been trying to, like, focus on my mental. Also, we are blessed with a Mandalore silhouette, if you see that right there. We got a cat today. So what is Mutanus? No, sorry, Mutt Anus. What is Mutt Anus? Yeah, Fleur, I mean, you're on the team, right? So I think, obviously, it's nerve-wracking for you guys, but it is, like, both nerve-wracking and infuriating for me, because, like, I'm not on the team. I've said this, like, millions of times, but they want to, like, get an interview with me, so I'll give up all my sources. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm trying not to focus on it. It's the events at the end of Wailing Caverns with 3... Oh, that's Mutt Anus? Yeah, you guys did that as level 1s? Holy crap. Thanks, Mandalore, for throwing off the color balance. Yeah, I'll definitely, Scythen, if you want, we could check it out right now. Is it long? Leave Vrograg alone. I'm not exactly a React streamer, but if you have something you want to show off, I'll gladly watch it on stream. It has music though. Is it copyrighted music? I could also mute it and then link it. Let me is that posted in the content area of Turtle WoW? Hopefully. Yes, I found it. Hold on. We'll get this going in a second here. Pretty slick job on the editing, by the way, Scythen. So, Lord Cobran. So I was seeing if I could, Disciple of Neralex. I'm trying to see if we can skip to them. There it is. Holy crap. Again, they're doing this as level 1s. It might look like there's a lot going on, and that's because it is. You have to remember how difficult this is for the people that are involved. I'm glad you found the crop and zoom on the editor. As Zodi's done a lot of video editing, I'm always appreciate stuff like this. There he is himself. How'd you get that shot? Did you get do you have a media account? That was pretty cinematic. I like that. So this is a raid of 10 people desperately trying to stay alive. It looks comp is a bunch of rogues. Oh, okay, yeah. That's how I had to do it for a while too, Scythen, before I got a media GM account. Like, I would actually go in and just do stuff on my character and get cinematic shots. You have 4 perspectives, too. That's pretty cool. Sometimes just clearing stuff to say you... Wait, why did it just do that? Now, did they actually add some custom loot to Mutt Anus? New official name. And he's down to 41%. I think probably the hardest part here is just clearing up all the trash, no? Because there's a lot of little guys he summons. There's something quite liberating about seeing such an empty taskbar. You don't got so many abilities. And he did. Cowl of the Fang. Oh, you did a cute little credits thing. Oh, I love that. Scythen, I really appreciate all the work you've put into this. I perhaps specifically, I know how much work this kind of stuff takes. This is a labor of love, what you did right here. And look, it's the people that didn't submit a credit take. Probably ideal, but just stay still for a second. I need the shot. Oh, it's adorable. 1111 Wailing Caverns. Wait, was Stabs Mackenzie changed into Shivs Mackenzie? Genuinely, great job on this, man. They're different people? What happened to Stabs Mackenzie? Is he okay? Or did he retire? They both have Wee Warlord. For those that don't know, Wee Warlord, I think, is that 10,000 honorable kills? You're probably not going to see too many more of those nowadays, because War Mode doesn't... War Mode does put you in PvP, but because there's not that carrot of an EXP bonus, and because you have to activate it, I think you have to activate it in a city, and the bonuses only really show up in Battlegrounds. I mean, it's going to be so much harder to single out a low-level character and kill them. I can only imagine how obnoxious that progression must have been for you. That does look pretty tough. Yeah, I mean, like, my personal opinion about it was that I actually liked level 1 lunatics as a check to people just mindlessly putting on war mode and then getting immediately punished for it. But it was causing such a headache for GMs, for people that were just like, I didn't know I'd get killed so much. Dear Lord, what's happening here? Right? So, I mean, we do have to respect and appreciate that there are newer players that maybe don't know what they're doing. They see EXP bonus and then they go for that, right? So, I don't think that's a nice welcoming atmosphere for people who are starting Turtle WoW to be with. That being said, I think there needs to be a more reliable way for people to try to get that achievement. Because I think right now it's going to be kind of impossible. I mean, not impossible, but like the amount of time you'd need to do it is kind of insane. First time we did it, the disciple died to 3 snakes because he generated so much threat, so we had a hunter kite, the first one he's programmed to hit first. Can hunters kite? I mean, they don't have a slow down ability, do they? Not at level 1. They just... When you say Hunter Kite, you mean hit with a ranged ability and ran? I guess they do have the longest range, but... there might be ways to slow them down with certain level 1 abilities and some... Trying to think of what you might be able to use to slow something down. There's not much. I guess you could rank 1 Frostbolt them. I could see that, Scythen. I don't know if that would be the panacea necessary. I think hear me out on this one. Hear me out on this one. As I don't know enough about the level 1 lunatic culture, but every starting zone has a level 10 quest that you have to flag to do, and there would be an automated message or system or something that would let level 1 lunatics know that someone's undergoing some sort of a challenge where they have to be flagged. The PvE aspect of the quest is like really simple. It just takes like 10 minutes. And that, a level 10 for a group of level 1 lunatics isn't tough. I think you guys could take that down. And it would also work as a nice introduction to let people know that there are insane people on the server. And sometimes when you do quests, you'll be actively inviting doom upon yourself. So I think that would be a win because it would allow the level 10 to like maybe have a chance. It would allow lunatics to know when there's fresh meat on the table ready to be eaten. And it might actually be a fair fight. I think that could be pretty cool. Oh, you use pathing? Yeah, that can work too. I'm an idea as an orc, okay? I don't know if I could follow through with that idea, but I think it's something. Well, yes, Ethan. I'm sure you have. All I'm saying is that I think it would make for more fair gameplay if there was like a level 10, it will flag you for PvP event. Also, within the quest, it'll straight up just not be available for hardcore. Just no, you can't do it. Watch some classic WoW vids? No, I won't. I will not even passively give Blizzard any sort of coverage. Screw them and their terrible products. Sorry, I chose war today. I'm not. Don't get me wrong, like, I appreciate old Blizzard for making this game, for making this sort of architecture, fostering a community early on, but I don't know, man. I did have a guildmate of mine told me about something called Diablo 2, like remastered or something, where like it's old Diablo 2, not the remastered version, but it's some sort of thing they do where, you know, big fans of the game did kind of something similar to like what Turtle or other private servers do, where they tweak the game code a little bit and make it like a different gameplay experience, but still definitely Diablo 2. And it's much more in the line of private servers because it's hosted on a private server. And I heard something like 30,000 people were playing it. So looking for other creative ways to stick the middle finger to Blizzard. That sounds like one. Project Diablo 2. See, I knew someone would know about it. See, now that I'd be interested in. You know, while hobbyists and people with too much time on their hands skillfully make products that are multitudes of times better than whatever Blizzard makes. Anything that embarrasses Blizzard. Yeah, exactly, Ash. I mean, and I mean, I've said this many times. I have nothing against the active developers of, like, even retail WoW right now. I have an issue with, like, they're legal going after me. Like, dude, come on, man. I play this to forget the world. I play this to vibe, make friends, have a good time. I'm not here for all that other stuff, man. Like, what are you talking about? And, you know, having met many people on the team, I won't say who, no one's driving a Bugatti around with all the sweet Turtle WoW money. They're scraping to make everything work, to find people to work on the project. Like, that's the difficulty for them. You know, acting like it's some sort of gigantic megacorp thing that's just siphoning all their money away. It's like, nah, dog, you're doing that yourself. The best analogy I have for it is, Blizzard is like a ranch. And they have a whole stable of animals. And, their big golden calf, WoW, is getting sick, and it's dying. And there's vultures swirling around. What Blizzard is doing is essentially a farmer shooting a shotgun at the vultures to save the cow. Dog, it's over. The vultures know the truth. Going after them, that doesn't do anything. You're getting mad at the wrong person. Vultures didn't kill that cow. A bad farmer did. A bad rancher did. I don't know if that makes sense. It does in my head. I mean, yeah, another thing too is that based on some of the things we've seen in the past on the stuff that Blizzard has experimented with like Classic Plus, their little adventures there, misadventures, what have you. I mean, I gotta say, it seems like they're at least inspired by some private servers, which is fine. I don't think that's a problem. But it's crazy to act like they're the problem. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Haxer. How's it going? I'm sorry I'm not playing Voices of the Void today. I did play a little bit on Friday in my own personal game. I experienced an event I had never seen before in that game, which literally made me stop playing for a little bit. I'm like, what? It was real spooky. I love that game. But I've also been, let's see, what I've been working on in Turtle WoW. I got a good story for you. So, I don't know if any of you have, many of you have played WoW for a long time, or maybe a little bit of time. You probably know that not all the professions are exactly created equal. You guys know I leveled up Rexana on stream. You know that she was a skinner and a leather worker. I even worked on tribal leather working. I even did all that. I was slowly getting some of the recipes. The thing was I already have a skinner. My shaman's a skinner. She has Finkel's skinner. She has the skinning gloves, all that good stuff, right? So I'm like, oh, well, I probably really don't need 2 skinners. So I'm like, well, Rexana still to this day does not have a Hearthstone, so she spends a lot of time wandering. I'm like, maybe I should get her herbalism. That way she can gather herbs when she's running around doing random stuff, right? So I made my way back to Orgrimmar, and you look at your... No, fishing buddy, go away. So if you look at your... So this is the interface on how you change or drop a profession. You click this button to unlearn profession. So I did that, and then I ran over and I learned herbalism. So I worked on doing herbalism. I think I got to maybe, I don't know, maybe like level like 70 or 90. I was still like in Brill. And just some bat came by, and I killed the bat and then kept doing my thing. And then I noticed something odd. The skinning icon came up over it. I'm like, huh? So, my inability to pay attention to what I was doing, I had accidentally deleted my leatherworking, not my skinning. So Rexana now is an herbalist and a skinner. She's not a particularly good one. That was pretty soul-crushing. But we keep going. No, Haxer. The event that happened... so generally, I don't look at spoilers on wikis. But I will look at events after they happen to find out, like what was that, right? What I got was called the Black Fog event in my personal game. It's really... it comes at you really subtly. You know, you're doing your stuff in the base or wherever you are, and you start noticing, like, the light doesn't go as far. Like, things just get dark. It was like 9 a.m. when this happened. And the sun was coming up. Everything got super dark. I couldn't even see out the windows. And then there was, like, this dull, like, mechanical thudding, like a heartbeat I could hear that kept coming closer and closer. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, all right, I guess I stay inside. I'm not going outside in this. I couldn't go to sleep. And then I looked out my window because I actually saw some light out there. And there's these two little lights next to each other, kind of like, almost like a car headlights. And I don't know what's going on with them. So I took a look at them. And then they started coming closer and their eyes turned red. So I spent the next couple of hours in game, hiding in my server room till it went away, which I think is what you're supposed to do. Absolutely terrifying. Hopefully I will not get spawn camped by the Bad Sun event again, though, either. Oh. GM just left us. Probably had to go somewhere to do something. I don't want to look at my bags yet. I can open my bags, but I don't want to look at them until I've seen what I've caught. I mean, technically I can see it because of Fishing Buddy, but I'm just not gonna look at it. Other things I was doing with Rexana, I worked a little bit more on her. Like I took her to a Blackwing lair. I think I did an Emerald Sanctum with her. I also got... I'm sure hunters, like high-level hunters understand this, but every... not all animal pets are made the same. Especially there's some rare spawns that have like special abilities or unique attack speeds. So I was looking up... because Rexana can only use bears, can only use axes, right? And I found that there's a rare spawn bear that exists in Ashenvale called Ursulok, who has the quickest attack speed of all the bears. I'm like, oh, I should get that one. So I got that one last week, and so I've been working on leveling it up. I'm not ever gonna get rid of Misha, but so I have been doing that. Oh yeah, the big thing was Rexana got the axe, the trash axe from BWL that gives you axe skill. So she's over 315 for weapon skill, which is nice. There's a... Where does that actually come from? I can't remember now. Oh, catch a fish. Okay. I think it's in Zul'Gurub. These right here. Blood-drenched grips. They come out as EG. They have 5 axes on them. I didn't know these exist till I did as EG, and I got these gloves, and I'm like, oh. Because melee hunters don't really get any weapon skills, so you got to kind of come up with it, especially if you're dual wielding. So, yeah. Blood-drenched grips. Fun fact that the team's done a lot to, like, edit gear at, like, all levels. And this is one of the ones that I found and was very pleased by. I'm pretty sure these gloves are what I would be using until I get gloves from Oro, which also have axes on it. That's that was fun. As far as axe prog, there's actually a surprisingly small amount of axes. I'm not even joking about that either. Let me see if I can... Oh, we don't need you that big right now. So if I take a look at database, items, weapons, one-hand axes. So Doom's Edge is the one that Rexana got. Has the 4 axes. It's great. And then many of them are much more like this is a warrior class weapon, so I can't grab that. There's a few of them, I think. Wait, no. Oh wait, no, hold on. That Scythe of an Unseen Path. This is an axe for... Man, how did I not see this one before? It's okay. Okay, so that's an AQ20 class axe. So that one could be an upgrade. Deathbringer. I think that one comes from Oni. I have been going to a couple Onis. Dormant Slumber, that comes from Emerald Sanctum. I've been SRing it. This is the armament axe you can get from AQ40 with one of the regalia. Sadly, like, this one doesn't have any agi. This one slaps really hard. I believe this one is a... Yeah, that one comes off in Nefarian. That might be a good main hand. High Warlord, not getting that. Hatchet Sunderbone, that's Nax. So, like, I got a couple upgrades I can look forward to and work towards. I just feel like there's some spots where I don't know if axes feel like... I just feel like they could be a little bit more fleshed out. So, I mean, just for comparison, by the way, right? So let's start at required level, right? So the 60s start here. Zulian Hacker. All the way up. Now, if I go to weapons, one-hand swords, I'm not even going to count these crazy ones, right? Look how many more swords there are. So it's almost an entire page of swords. Axes have about half as much. And I know axes aren't the only weapon type that deal with this. I'm just pointing out. I thought it was interesting. Yeah. That's almost, it's a little less than 50 at level 60 and up. It's about, that's about 50, sorry, 46, 44 maybe. One-handed mazes. Plenty of one-hand maces. Maybe a little bit less than swords, but definitely more than axes. Fist weapons, I know there's like barely any of these. Yeah, this actually has less than axes. I'm just pointing out because I think there's some weapon types that could use a little love. That's all I'm saying. Just more options. There is a lot of custom content. I am a big fan of the Makura world boss. I never got around to doing that on Vrograg. I still need the idol, I think, but every time there's a ZG, I'm either taking Rexana or I'm taking like my mage or my shaman. I just never get around to taking Vrograg. Although sometime in Vrograg's past, I actually did tank. Like I was actually one of the main tanks for a ZG because, you know, I could still tank. I'm glad that the people in Ambershire are getting to discover some of this stuff as it comes out. Oh, is that a global water? Yeah, I'll have to do the crafting cooldowns later. Yeah. I love how the people in Ambershire are eating up all the new and unusual things that the Turtle team has done. Because it's not just raid content they've already seen. Now, with the... Hold on, wait a second. Let me check this. Announcements. So, yeah, Ambershire is on phase 3. So they have Lower Karazhan, Kazakh, Azergos, Dragons of Nightmare, Dark Reaver, Karazhan. Does that mean... I don't know what the timetable... Obviously, the team's not going to tell us, but the... Don't jump scare me like that. Just an average day being the Fisher Orc. Just an average day, guys. Now, here's the question. Is that a Nixia or Nefarian? Oh my goodness, guys. There's an echo in here. Murrog's here. She answered from over my right shoulder. I love that she has a sleeping animation. Nephaloma, if you jump, I think she has a flapping animation too. True story. I think all the dragons do. Yeah, I think if you go swimming, it will start flapping as well. No? Try swimming. Because swimming will usually activate your flying animation. No? Alright. Bummer. Well, I know Onyxia has a flying animation because I've seen her fly. It's a shame you can't activate it. Anyway, what I was saying is, though, I don't know when the next phase is for Ambershire. But would that coincide with the new patch? Would they also have to deal with a new BWL? Yeah, Haxor, it could. It's true. It might be the model that she uses in the throne room fight, but she has a sleeping animation, which is weird. It makes me think it is the right model. Nephaloma, if you cast spells, what does it do? Do you have a like a channeled spell or a cast spell or an instant you can test with? I wonder if it would make her do her breath weapon animation. No, they're not at the opening the gates event. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Is Ambershire already done BWL? I actually don't know now. Also, sad news too. The bonus GM account that I got for doing work on the radio. Well, hold on a second. We got something there. No longer has the privileges to morph things into other things anymore. Very sad. Oh my God, you're right, Rodfather. I've been trying not to look at the numbers. I've just been trying to fish and chat. I don't even want to look at my bags. But you are right. That does look like almost 20% stone scale eel. That's we'll be eating caviar tonight, boys. I do miss my my other media account that I have. But here's the thing. I think the DJs like super abused it way too much. And they were like changing people all sorts of stuff all the time, and then that became like an issue. They ruined it for me. The DJ should think about me and what I need. Rodfather, I hope you're doing well, friend. Good to see you. I hope your challenge with your slow and steady brewmaster is going well. And no, I can also just check the schedule for Ambershire. I think it should be on the Discord, right? So they're on phase 3, right? Yeah, so they don't have BWL yet because phase 2 was Molten Core. So phase 3 is between Molten Core and BWL. So there's a chance where Ambershire's first experience with BWL will also be a new BWL. Yeah, I don't know that. I've been seeing that too, Murag. I don't know what that is. Well, I know it releases next phase, but what I'm saying is the timing of that such that BWL is going to be the updated and revamped BWL. Oh, really? So not... Oh, man, I kind of feel bad for them. And by the way, that's not a slight at the team. That's just when you guys redesign stuff, you make it too tough. You do. We remember Molten Core. We've seen all the rare spawn elites you put all around the world. We've seen them. We know what they do. The hardcore players know to stay away from them. I know to stay away from them. I've seen KT hard mode. I don't want to do that. I saw Emerald Sanctum when you first released it, and it was just chock full of trash that had like millions of health. Listen, I like difficulty in games, but I don't know about progging on a newly designed thing from Turtle WoW. You guys are going to slap them down. Let's hope it won't be as overtuned as MC. That's a pretty easy bar to get over. I mean, I only say that as someone who got my absolute butt kicked by trying the new Molten Core on release. The Domo fight alone. And then, Rag just does like a little splash thing. It's like, hey, you know what? Everyone raid takes 1,000 damage. Just cuz. If BW released in Vanilla State, yeah, there wouldn't be a realm. There wouldn't be a realm first race. Yeah, exactly. I think that'll be fun. I think that's something I might try to cover. And again, No, listen, this isn't a slight on the team. What I'm particularly interested in is what lessons have the team learned since Telebim progressed through the realm. Their gates opening event was fraught with some issues, right? And I know they've done it on some SEA realms. So, and I believe they've done it for South Seas. So I'm wondering, you know, have they rehearsed it enough at this point that it's going to go smoothly? Are they going to change the materials and reagents needed for the war effort to make it a little bit different so people can't just stockpile everything and be done it in like a day? That kind of stuff. That's what I'm interested about. Because I mean, I was down there in the trenches with Telebim during them and their gates opening event. A lot of it went on without a hitch. At the time, their population was really struggling, and so they had some help with like needing less materials, I think, essentially. But there were some other like scripting issues they had with some of the events that had to be fixed. I don't doubt the Turtle team's ability to fix it, but I mean, Ambershire has a lot more people, and so a lot more eyes are going to be on them for that, and so I'm curious to see, you know, if they can perform when all the attention's on them. It is a bit of a nightmare. It's like you have a perfect storm of people that have been bug bashing for days at a time, and their mind starts going, and then something breaks, and then you have to talk to broken people to try to fix whatever the issue is. I've done a bug bash before. Not on Turtle Wild. I did it on Classic, but I'm good. I don't have to do that ever again, thank you. But I did see some dignitaries from Telebim slowly lose their mind as they were going through it as well. Because even though the war effort materials were lessened, you still needed to get, what's it like, neutral with Brood? Without the help of having AQ40 or AQ20. That being said, though, if it is a new BWL, and that's when the phase releases for Ambershire, I think that would be mega hype to watch. Very fun to follow in on. Hopefully it's on a day and time I can do it. Since it's something that I've enjoyed doing in the past, maybe I'll even be smart enough to remember this and maybe take time off from work so I could stream during that day, or if it's, you know, later in the evening. I think they usually schedule all the phase shifts to be on Friday, so that shouldn't be that big of an issue. I can make sure that, you know, whatever things I have scheduled going on, I can make sure I'm free. By the way, Rodfather, we just broke 20% with Stone Scale. I just saw it. That means 1 in every 5 of my catches has been Stone Scale. And some of them have been double procs. It's counting it as 45. I realize I could see the number there, but is that... It might be more than 45 actual fish. Maybe? Yeah, because I don't know if Fishing Buddy counts the double procs. Seeing Kara 40 and TA's Nax live from a GM perspective is really unique. Yeah, you know, what I'm... I mean, I only had this happen like a little bit when I did the Kara 40 race event. What I'm always paranoid of is I still to this day think of having any sort of a media account that I could do GM teleporting on and stuff like that. I consider it a very important privilege and a big responsibility. So I am always petrified of, I was watching stuff in the wrong spot and I just caused a raid to wipe. Even though you can have GM mode on, right, and nothing should affect you, it doesn't mean sometimes things won't affect you. Sometimes it still happens. And I do not want to be the reason that something works or doesn't work, especially given how hard some of those people work to get in those positions to do those races. Guys, we're blessed again with another Mandalore. Oh, hey, buddy. He's been to the vet a lot recently. I think I shared with you guys. He had an anal gland rupture. Poor guy. And he had like a follow-up appointment yesterday. But he was pretty well behaved. Although I did get to see a vet express an anal gland, and I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that's something you could just do. I'm really happy I don't have one now. I actually even I did a Nax recently. Sorry, I didn't do a Nax. Blackwing Guard had asked me to, the people I raid with, right, my guild. I was like, hey, I'd like to record one of these eventually, so maybe when there's a day I'm on the bench, I can go do that. So I actually flew around and followed Blackwing Guard while they were doing their Nax run. And so I made a cute little video. I even got the tool that you'll see speedrunners use for speedrun splits. Like, Blackwing Guard's not trying to be competitive for speedruns, but those splits are really useful to like track how well you're doing as far as like between each segment. Like, hey, where are we losing time versus our best time? That kind of stuff. Of course, after that, our raid leader decided to do different routes, so all those splits are useless, but I'm not bitter. You're bitter. Nephaloma, people in my guild might start talking. They might start saying that I've been cavorting with the Black Dragon flight if they see this too much. So let's get our story straight. I was trying to uncorrupt you. That's our story. If you've ever been to the Blackwing Guard guild base, you'll see a bunch of like black dragon drakes and stuff like that flying around. Because the lore of Blackwing Guard is that we're trying to actively remove the corruption from the Black Dragon flight. We're secretly agents of the Red Dragon flight trying to do that. So, that being said, though, they would not like if they thought I was allied with the Black Dragon flight. Oh yeah, Haxer, it's a cool thing. I could actually, let me see if I have it. Where did I put it? Hold on. And now I'm just straight up looking for it. It's gonna bother me if I can't find it. Like for my speedrun tool, I was using BWG runs. No, yeah, that's gone now. Oh, I keep fishing. I think it just ran. It was just an executable. Like it didn't have to install or anything. And I don't know where I put it. I put it in streaming stuff? Ah, timer. There it is. I could probably get this window up there, right? Yeah. Let's bring OBS back up. Where can I put you? There it is. So this is the little tool I used when I was doing the VOD recording. So when you submit your times to Vita, you need a video log, and you need the actual data logs themselves for submissions. So this was like the little thing I used. You could see the route we used. It only took an hour and a half. Or sorry, not an hour and a half. An hour and 48 minutes just about. Great, where did it go? Can I just close you? Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. By the way, Nephaloma did officially apologize for jump scaring me. And is fine with me making up a story so my guild doesn't get mad at me for cavorting with Black Dragonflight. Also, has anyone else been working on Chandrilar rep? Murag and I, we had some fun last night. We duoed Dire Maul East and Dire Maul West with Vrograg and Murag, like our original tunes. And that was a good time. I was able to tank stuff, kind of. And she was able to hybrid DPS and heal me through it. As I hybrid tanked and DPS'd. We only really had issues with, I think, Imulthar. Because he has like a weird... He has like a weird thing he does where he'll like teleport you to the middle and there's eyeballs. I don't know what the eyeballs do. I don't know if they're different than vanilla. But even if it was vanilla, I don't know what they do in vanilla. So there was that. Also, Haxer, the tool for the speedrunning thing, that speed test application, super easy to use. It has a couple quirks, but like you can set it up for almost anything. I think it's a nice tool that the larger speedrunning community uses. I'm going to let this cast finish, and I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be right back after this catch. It could be anything, guys. It could be another stone scale. Ah, it was yellow. All right, be right back. I wanted to see if Mandalore wanted to be on his cat bed. He did not. Oh, man. I can't wait to see how many fish I got. Should probably do myself a favor. I want to make sure I had enough space. I could run out of space. Not likely. I have so much cred, though, in my bank. I have stuff that, like, I just can't let go of. It matters too much to me. Things like, I still have my flare gun from my poison quest. If you've done the Horde poison quest as a rogue, you have to use a flare gun to let an elite know you're not an enemy. I still have it. Can't bring myself to get rid of it. And sometimes it's prudent not to get rid of stuff on Turtle WoW because they'll change the stats on certain items. Mostly I've been screwed by that. But because I had some of my really good best in slot like rogue tank gear got nerfed as far as its contributions to rogue tanking. Namely the the tier 2 boots and shoulders, I think. They used to have dodge, now they have crit or hit or something on them. You're pretty sure Murag still has Tiny Finn's necklace from the very old quest? Oh, that's nice. I still have, on one of my bank alts, who was like the first character I ever made on Turtle WoW, still has one of the marks of Dawn or something. It has one of those things that only happened during the Nax opening event. Yep. Yeah, you can't bring yourself to get rid of them. So, sometimes items mean too much. You're like, I don't know. Like, I'm never going to really need, likely, my Onyxia Scale Cloak, but the fact that it says made by Gilnid will always matter to me. Gilnid was like an early guildmate friend of mine, who I only remember when I look at that cloak, or someone brings him up. Oh, speaking of, this doesn't happen, sorry. I was thinking of something I was trying to remember. There's a mate of mine who's in my guild. I know them as Tonberry. They made a big forum post about the trolls of... Is it Sandmoon Village? Hold on. What is that village called? Yeah, Sandmoon Village, which is like here or here, depending on how you look at it. If you've ever been there, it's a little sparse, but yeah. It's also a place for Sand Fury trolls to exist, so that's cool. But he made this whole forum post about if we could gather a bunch of meat to feed the Loa and stone to build a temple to the Loa, the Sand Fury trolls there could grow and become something else.
Thank you for your guild town and burning steps. Saves me time mailing thorium.
You're welcome. I wish I could take more credit for that. I didn't build it. That was the old RPGM, Koan, who built it with advice from Kalea and Tank, who were our old co-GMs. But thank you, Judging. I really appreciate the super chat. That's very generous. Why are there two Murogs? I don't know, dude. You can't just be Murog, evidently. I'm sorry. Do I still get to be Vrograg? I don't know why, but my notifications sometimes just like double activating on donations, so I hope you enjoy the extra value, Judging. Hold on, wait. Does this all work for me? I still get to be Vrograg Fishslayer, but I think that's because no one else is Vrograg Fishslayer. I don't know. There might be Morag imposters.
You know, I woke up today to finding out that somebody was trying to get onto my Microsoft account. Now there's a second Morag. Coincidence?
Hopefully. Can I check the stone scale prices between October 1st, 2024 and January 1st, 2024? Yes, that is a hyper-specific question, but I can definitely do that. Hold on, give me a second here. Do you mean for Nordinar? I'm assuming you mean Nordinar. But I believe at that point Telebim did exist. I'm going to check for Nordinar. By the way, if anyone ever has any other kind of market requests, just let me know. I could probably do them. I'll even show you guys what I'm doing over here. Stone scale. All right, and it was for October 1st, 2024. And January 1st, 2025. Give it a second. A lot of data to look through. That's only an 86-day long period. Does this help? Is this what you were looking for? It does look like it kind of tanked after that. Might have tanked just on... Yeah, I mean, if I... In the larger scale of things, I think it's not as impactful. So I can do like a full... July 1st. Oh, well, catch that fish. Oh! That's, that looks like Veilstraws? Is that Veilstraws? It might be.
I don't know, you're covering it up on your
Oh, sorry guys. Sorry, hold on. We'll take a look at it in a second. I want to finish this. If you wanted to see a real person, you could just come to Timbermo Hold. Listen, these fish aren't going to catch themselves. Not yet. Okay. I didn't scan till the earlier this week, so the earliest I could do is Okay, what do you guys think? Is this Veilstraws? I think it is. All right. Here's the most recent. So that time period Bowie was looking for, you're looking for a seasonal spike. I don't know if it's a seasonal spike as much as it's just like with the ebb and flow and needs of people. It is Veilstraws, but the model is generically a red dragon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to think of another spot where you could see a big red dragon like that. There might be... That might be a model that's used in the Grimbatol entry area. Now that looks like a nightmare dragon. Or a chromatic dragon almost? It's kind of weird. I don't know what that is. No, because the nightmare dragons look a little different. What?
You're still covering it up.
Oh, I'm still covering up. It's Lethen. It's been a while since I fought Lethen. You could be right. Oh, I don't want. Why did I do that? Don't do that. Is that the... Do you have the model for... What's the one you have to do for the Scepter quest in Moonglade? The one that's a little buggy on Turtle WoW? Which, by the way, team, if you're hearing this, you guys should really look into making sure that quest goes smoothly, because every time I've heard people talk about that particular part of the quest, it has required multiple 40-mans to take down that boss. Just something to think about. Listen, you can hear me complain now about it, or you can hear hundreds of people bitch about it when it comes out. Just look into it. Not a lot of raiders on Thanksgiving. Well, it isn't Thanksgiving right now. It's Thanksgiving weekend. There's a lot of people out with family and stuff, which is, completely fine. So many bugs, not enough time. I feel you, Haxer. I can confidently state the team does a lot of bug squashing. I still get to see their like workflow area. Sometimes when I see some like sensitive bugs or ones that I'm joking around with them about, I'll sometimes post them in those places, but they're working hard. They've been doing a lot of testing, I know, in the BWL stuff. Fix bear mount special. Oh yeah, actually that's a good point. So I noticed this. It started first with my. I think this character has it too. Companions. The Moonkin hatchling. Hold on, I get to catch this fish. All right, so over here, if I bring up my Moonkin hatchling. So before, if I did /dance, all right, this wasn't working at some point. Looks like they made it work again. It seems to not work whenever it moves, but when it stops moving, it can dance. So that's cool, right? But here's why I'm bringing this up. There are, I think the Dark Moon Bear, the Dark Moon Dancing Bear. If you do /dance while you're on it, it's supposed to dance. That isn't working. There's some other like pet things that aren't working correctly still. I think the polar bear doesn't. No, it's either the polar bear or the panda bear doesn't sleep anymore.
Panda bear.
Panda doesn't. If you do /sleep. Yeah. Yeah, and the wandering thing seemed to start not during this patch, but the previous patch, because I used to have little Ragnaros out all the time, and then he just started wandering around all the time. It was kind of funny. So I don't know why. Like, I'm fine with them wandering around, but some of the more, I don't know if it's niche, but some of like the special things that some of the pets do, like, doesn't seem to be working, including with some of the mounts. Just something to be aware of. I think people, in the realm of when people have a right to be upset about stuff, I can understand it more when someone paid money for something, like from the donation shop, and it doesn't work. Who's that? Who's the other caster in here? Oh, is that you? Are you fishing, Nefloma? How long did it take you to figure out all the GM commands to give yourself 60 fishing, or level 300 fishing? I like the new headcanon that I am teaching a dragon how to fish. This is the kind of high fantasy I'm here for. What do I think about the new female satyr? I mean, I think it's cool. I wasn't like a big like I need female satyrs. No fish are hooked. What the heck? Oh, you had the noise go off. So the reason that is because I come from like a more D&D centric fantasy background. So satyrs were always male for me, because they're like a Greek mythological kind of representation of like male virality and like sort of like this lusty sort of very masculine ambition sort of concept. So it was always fine for me that satyrs were always male, right? I didn't think it was something that like we needed female satyrs. I'm not like, oh no, like you're ruining it for me. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just like, it wasn't something that was on my radar or something I thought was lacking. Well, Haxer, I agree. I didn't even really know the thing about how satyrs are corrupted night elves till like later. Vongola, I don't have information on when it will be released. I think the only thing that I have a rough understanding of is that it seems like the team is interested in having the new patch out before the next phase of Ambershire, where they have BWL out, because it sounds like they're planning on having them progress a new BWL. So aside from that, I can't really say, because I don't know. Haxer, listen, you're preaching to the choir on that one. There should be more undead races, not only 95% human. Yeah. Well, like, this is one that always annoys me personally. And Murok too, I know, is if you go to, I think it's skins. Yeah, if you go to skins, do they still have the Murk? They still have the thing for the high elf Shadow Ranger, right?
I don't know.
Mark of the Dark Ranger. So this can only be used by high elves, right? However, the skin would literally make you like perfect for the Forsaken.
It also is the skin that Sylvanas has in Undercity right
It's the skin that Sylvanas has. Why can't Forsaken have that? Now, I understand it's a skin that only works on high elves. Okay, I get you. All I'm saying is, maybe don't make it a store. Right? I do not know how the back end works for when you create a character. I will say that. But when you go to create a character, right, you can pick between different skins and, right? You can look like a blue troll or a green troll, right? So you can be a dark spear or a forest troll. Now, I don't know if you could like click a thing and then there would be like a dark ranger variant, right? But that seems like something that would make sense and would serve the lore and the immersion of the game. Also, for what it's worth, I know for a fact that there are two types of like appearance change things you can get. One will just change your skin, and one is actually an illusion that will change like your whole body type. It would be cool if Forsaken had a way to change their body type to a Dark Ranger. And then I don't know, that might mess up stuff as far as like what they can equip. Well, it would suit especially the fact that there's Forsaken Hunters now. It would suit them very well. And I only say this because I know that a GM can type in a command, and the command is like .m for mod or morph. No, .m for mod and then space morph, and that changes their appearance. And you can actually change someone's appearance to like a player ID or a player name or a mob name. So you can do that dynamically. This is how they do stuff with like appearance change tokens. Like you can set in place the appearance of a character. So I'm like, I mean, I don't know. It might get super jank. I mean, as it is, we don't even have a functioning barbershop. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't push too hard. But I just think it would serve the lore better. Yes, Haxer. Everything here is a huge hack. We have transmog. Would it break something? Most assuredly. That's right, Maxim. And you know what else I will say? As someone who has like interfaced with the community to help make a icon differentiation project. By the way, that's like very low stakes. There were still like really skilled artists who did work, while like me like changing hue sliders, right? Organizing all that and making sure it worked well was very difficult, and there were still mistakes. I'm sure Haxer remembers when someone on Telebim noticed that their Eye of Moam became a soup because I got a data entry in wrong. So I mean, it's and that's just icons, which is like one of the most simple and rudimentary systems in the game. I'm like, why can't I be a Dark Elf Ranger? Come on. I wonder if the Dark Rangers have cannibalized animation. Ooh, that's actually a good question. That is a very good question. If there was a Dark Elf Ranger, that would be the one to make sure they do have. I think elf models are similar enough to humans, you might be able to copy paste it. Because I know like a little bit about the animation. What? I know, we were talking about half elves, or the high elves having it. If they had the Dark Elf Ranger skin, they could also cannibalize. I'm assuming only Forsaken have it. I don't remember what the female Forsaken cannibalize looks like. I know the male cannibalize is them like.
Yeah, they're bent down and.
Do the female Forsaken do that too? Oh, okay. Okay. I do know the funny thing about the female Forsaken model. If you're a rogue and you're a female Forsaken, I think every eviscerate you do a backflip. It almost makes me want to make a Forsaken rogue just for that. Oh, okay. Will you cover the upcoming World PvP event on Telebim on the 5th of December as you did before? I would like to. Now, so a little note here. The 5th happens to be on a Wednesday. I'm sorry, wait. Let me check. No, the 5th is on a Friday. What time of day is that gonna I have to check the time of day. I would like to very much. Morog, next Friday do we have?
We might have people over for Dagger Card.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel. Damn. I'll check the timing on it. I think the last time I did it was also a Friday, and I was able to end on time. But yeah, so when my week schedule comes out, I'll take a look at it on my birthday, which is Monday. So I'll take a look at it then. Yeah, Maxim, if you haven't seen it before, there is a big PvP event happening on Telebim. It's part of a long narrative. This is part 4, I believe. It's being run by Korkron Enforcers, where they have these sort of like PvP conceits that are like part of a story. And this has been going on since August. And the last chapter is a siege of Ironforge, which to anyone who's raided cities knows that Ironforge is one of the hardest cities to siege if like Alliance are putting up good defense. And the last one I covered was a battle that happened in the Thandal span between Wetlands and Arathi Highlands. And that was amazing. That was super fun. So I would like to cover that as well. It's on the 13th? Well, I mean, if it's on the 13th and that's a Saturday... Look at my calendar here. Oh, yeah. I can do Saturday all day. I will make sure there's time. Sunny from Korkron Enforcers has been putting a lot of work together to, like, herd the cats, you know, make sure Alliance and the Horde know about it, get people to show up. Stuff like that takes a lot of work, and those little events are really important for like the culture and like the feel and vibe of any realm, really. So he's adding a lot, I feel, to the larger scene. Not just Turtle WoW, but specifically Telebim, making it the greatest spot for world PvP. And I'm here for it. He's a cool dude too. I've chatted with him numerous times, and he's been around for a while too. I'm very interested to see how that battle's going to go, because you pretty much have a narrow corridor you have to plug up, which, in a traditional militaristic sense, like in a medieval way, that would be great. But you have, walking artillery shells with mages and warlocks, right? So you can't just plug up a hole, and it becomes really dynamic. Let's see it, Let's see if they can crash Telebim. The server architecture actually did hold up through the last battle I watched, even though there were a lot of people there. I think the rough estimate was like about 150 people roughly showed up to the larger event. Be nice to Vrograg and don't let him do anything gross like eat a raw egg again. I only did that once. I was feeling frisky. It's also not hard to level on Telebim. I think they have boosted XP rates still. Go for it. The hardest thing you're going to run into is not going to be able to afford all your abilities. And that's it. There is still a Vrograg on Telebim I haven't leveled in a minute, but he's still there. That's what I was saying, actually. That's why I knew I'd be fine. Which zone are you more excited for? The changes to 1,000 Needles or Moonwhisper Coast? So judging, I do have some inside knowledge about this. Because while I was checking in on like what the team was up to, because even though I'm not like actively doing news now, I'm still keeping abreast of what the team's up to, much in the same way I keep abreast of what the community's up to. I did happen to see the map for Moonwhisper Coast. I am more interested in Moonwhisper Coast now. Yeah. It's going to be its own new zone, like its own new proper zone, whereas changes to Thousand Needles are going to be changes to an existing zone. Moonwhisper Coast is going to be its own jam. By Murok. Skyenzo, the guy who does all those really detailed pieces of art for the team. Yeah, his art is definitely selling it. I will say that much. I don't know if... I'm trying to think of what lore has been released about the zones. I believe we know it's supposed to be adjacent or near Night Elf lands. So it's got to be somewhere around here, right? But no, I mean, I've seen some images and stuff. I just... One look at Moonwhisper Coast and I'm like, yo, this is going to be awesome, dude. And it's no mystery that Kalimdor could use the extra love. A lot of big open areas with not a lot in it in certain places. Oh, speaking of which, I had a question from before. Catch the fish, catch the fish. Alright. Oh no, it did the glitch thing. I have to wait for that bobber to go away, I think. See, look, no one's fishing right now. Finally have a Horde character when it comes out. The Wailing Caverns editions are wonderful. I'm glad you've liked them. I think they've been great. Fun fact too, Murok, who just left, she voice acted the Kolkar boss there. Will do, judging. Will do. You want a Demon Hunter dungeon in Felwood? Yeah, that would be the right spot for it. What I've been trying to... The thing that I've been promoting recently is... I mean, it's not recently, for a while now. I think everyone knows who's been playing on Turtle WoW that Hunters have a melee-centric build, right? But to me, that can only take my fantasy of becoming Rexar so far. And the reason I say that is because it's so trap-centric when, like, really Rexar works together with his pet, which makes it much more of a Beast Mastery vibe. But clearly Rexar brings his own level of destruction to the battlefield. So, like, it feels like very melee-centric too. I'd have to find it again, but I had said in Theory Crafting, I'm like, I've been trying to find a way to do a... So, technically the way it is right now, Beast Mastery really only pairs with ranged. Its capstone called Baited Shot itself is a shot. You need to be ranged to use it, right? So I'm like, where is the Beast Mastery melee like build? Whether it's heavier in Beast Mastery or whether it's heavier in survival, there's not really a synergy there, and I feel like that's really where Rexar is as like a character. So but the reason I bring this up is because I mentioned that, and Voji replied and said there will be in the next patch. I don't know what that means. He's taking away all the Hunter range specs. Listen, don't get me wrong. I like the concept of a ranged hunter. I'm completely fine with it. It's just not my tea. It's not my jam. It's not what I play the game for. I would never tell someone that's not fun or that's not cool. Well, I mean, Darian, what would you think he is? Right? He's clearly some kind of a beastmaster. He's like the only in game. He's the only hunter who actually has a pet out. His pet is a freaking unit too, right? And do you see a single ranged weapon on him? He might throw an axe. Haxor, that's my dream. I would love a Beast Mastery, even if it's more in Beast Mastery, survival hybrid. Because, like, the only thing I've been able to do is do this really weird mishmash where I think I get as far as getting 1 point in precision for my pet, so I can get 5 of 5 of the agility getting added to attack power talent at the end of survival. It's the only way I can do, like, decent-ish damage, but it still leaves the pet feeling rather flat. Because all the damage they do is much deeper into Beast Mastery. I've done a deep Beast Mastery and then like a little bit of survival, but then you do like no damage. And pets can scale, but it's fine to have builds that aren't good for PvE. Like that's fine, but it so clearly felt like a PvP build. I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna be kind of dumb to bring this into raid. And the amount of people that have been like, oh, Vrograg, that cool bow just dropped. You should get that for your hunter. And I'm like, what do you mean? That doesn't look like an axe I can throw. Huh? I did learn, though, when I was doing that duo run with Murag and I when we were doing Dire Maul East and Dire Maul West for some Shenjalar rep. The bear drops, I don't know if it's a necklace or if it's a trinket, but it gives your pet like a flat damage scaling bonus. You took the Swift Reflexes talent, but it doesn't show the 2% haste being applied. It shouldn't apply haste, no? Because Swift Reflexes is something else. Well, let me check. Let me check while also getting up the talent. Okay. Is this the right one? No, it's not. This is an older one. This is not the correct one. Why am I cursed with always? Bring me to the calculator. No. Why is this one outdated? Because Bestial Wrath doesn't exist anymore. Haxor, why have you cursed me? I feel like this is Haxor's fault somehow. Okay, this is the right one. Okay. This is just from the Turtle database. So, Swift... Oh, I'm sorry. Lightning Reflexes. It increases your melee attack power and gives you scaling and agility bonus, but Swift Reflexes is... Where is Swift Reflexes? I don't even know what that is. Oh. So Swift Reflexes increases your parry chance, judging. That's why. I solved it for you. And this one is current. I can double check with Rogue too, just to make sure it's current. Yes, this is current. It says attack speed and parry. Oh, I only read the parry chance and attack speed. Interesting. I thought it was, maybe in the older version it was something else. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of? Nope, this is the one I was just on. So this is Talent Builder, which is something else. If we go to the Hunter one here... Oh, I guess it was always attack speed. Okay. I don't know. Also, if I'm being honest with you too, Judge, how are you able to determine your attack speed? So if you're using better character stats, that thing is notorious for being incorrect and not showing stuff. I have multiple examples of that. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to test, I guess, because it's 2%. So maybe you can get a really, really slow weapon and test to see if it actually moves the needle. But, I mean, 2% over... So I think the easiest way would be get a weapon that has exactly a 3-second swing speed timer. And then that should be... You should get 20 hits in a minute. Yeah, because it's 6 is 10. So if you get slightly more than that, or you're like not exactly ending at that, that might be an indication that you're 2% quicker. It dropped to 2.8 bow to 2.4, but that's not 2%. Right? Because sure. So 2.8 multiplied by 1.02. All right, it'd be... I did that math wrong. Hold on. 2.8 times 1. No, it's 0.98. That's what it is. So if it was just 2%, it should drop it to 2.744 attack speed. Yeah, because 2.8 times 0.98, which is 2%, right? So it's missing that 2%. Is that what the talent said? Yeah. So you're getting more out of it if that's the case. But you might as well have other gear and stuff helping. 2 points gives 2 haste, but 1 haste is 1%, right? And so 2% would mean your weapon's speed should be 2% quicker. So for it to be 2% quicker, it would be 2.7, not 2.4. That's actually too good. Yeah, Tormentor, you're not the only one who's noticed this. Even though I know you're Derek, because I've seen your icon before. Murog was noticing it because, like, it wouldn't say Murog anymore. It said, like, Murog and then, like, a number. They changed something with the usernames for YouTube chat. I don't know. And sorry, Bowie, I don't know if I missed this, but you said, have you heard about new illusions coming back? I don't know. I don't think they don't tease that stuff. They just do it. Like, literally, I think they do. They generally don't tease about those kind of things. You heard from a GM? Well, that's probably a more reliable source. Because GMs know about stuff, and the only reason I say that is because GMs have to know how to fix stuff before it gets put out, and then it's broken, and then they have to fix it. Okay, by my estimation, I've done 2 hours of fishing, roughly. It says 3 hours, but that's because I showed up here early. I want to take a look at my fish now. Let's take a look at what we got. All right, we're hoping for a golden pearl. Very low on the pearl front. That's a bummer. Oh, a locked box. Woo! I can fix that. Alright, at least I got something out of that one. Alright, bycatch is here. I'm just organizing it so people can see the massive windfall we have here. This is all junk. Alright, valuable things that I've caught right there. Trade goods and commodities. $2. We got 101 stone scale. I actually started with 9. You can see here on the on Fishing Buddy, 92 stone scale eel. So technically, it's a little less than this. Sorry for the fake out. Only 3 nightfin. Would love to see that number go up, but there's better spots for it. 27 firefin, 6 oily blackmouth. These are all pretty much junk catches. We got some globe of water, which I can transmute into more elemental water, which is useful for a number of things. Fortunately, we kind of lost on the pearl lottery with all the clams we got, but again, this many stone scale, not bad. I think it's pretty good. Why can't I click Fishing Buddy? There it is. I mean, roughly, this is like about 100 gold. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, Bowie. I could. But I'd have to, like, move around and fight people for pools and... You know, I'm sure I can... Listen, I'm not saying I can't get more, but I have to expend more effort. This has been absolute vibes. Just chilling, not even moving. Sitting in one spot, just letting the fish come to me. And if you're trying to focus fish down stone scale, I would suggest like Gilligim Lapidus. There's some areas there where you can make routes that are pretty good. Telebim is usually tends to be pretty hotly contested. Parts of Ashara, you're not going to find... Most people from Classic know about that one, so they go there too. Even spots in... what's it called? Not that... STV. Even the I've seen the pools get spawn camped there. Telebim is pretty good, but the thing is that I feel like if you're trying to focus fish stone scale eel pools, you'd want to go something else. Oh. I forgot I had Whim up. Might be. Yeah, Tell Whim is pretty good. It's a shame that the Firefin don't go for more, if I'm being honest. But they're just... what they're needed for is pretty limited. There it is. Yeah, if I look at the auction house is doing right now for stone scale eel. I mean, yeah, it's roughly a gold apiece. You can make a minor markup if you just go for stone scale oil, I believe. Yeah, the markup's almost not even worth what the value of the vial is. So, I mean, there you go. There's fewer of them, I would say, but it doesn't really change much. It's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. Still to this day. The thing that I've wanted to farm. See, I have Obomsawin, my shaman, who I've been taking a lot to AQ40. I wanted to try her hand at doing Twin Emperor tanking. I don't know how good my threat would be, but I think elemental shamans can probably do some stuff there. But if I want to get some of the shadow resist pieces, they require a bunch of fell cloth. And if you guys have seen the fell cloth prices recently, you'd know where I'm like, maybe I should go farm those. It's tough. So like the areas in Hyjal where there's satyrs, they are, I mean, pretty well camped. Not like 100%, but there's usually a lot. I mean, I've gone by a couple times with Rexon. It's pretty well watched after. The spots in Fellwood, same deal. You can do some instance farming if you have like a couple people. You can do some satyrs in Dire Maul East. I think they have about as good of a chance as anything else. There's also succubi in Hyjal, but there's not that many spawns of them. So Fellcloth is actually surprisingly hard to get your hands on. And it's become very valuable because Mooncloth is needed for things, and that's a whole other ball of wax. But I have yet to find a Fellcloth farm I feel comfortable with. I'll see you, Rodfather. But true story, I am going to Kara 40 today later. I heard a little birdie told me that the scaling for Kara 40 wasn't working until recently. I don't even know if that's true either. This is what I get for trying to take a step back because I'm all stressed out about Blizzard stuff. I miss some of that stuff. Right now we're progging on the chess fight. We've gotten Gnarlmoon down, Incantaghost down, Anomalous pretty much down. Fortunately, we have some big pumpers in our raid group, and we're able to do Medivh without mechanics, which I kind of hate that exists, but yeah. I'm not saying that I like the fact that the strategy is restorative potions either. Clearly, the strategy meant for that fight is that you have like 2 priests or paladins put on a bunch of shadow resistant stuff and all they do is spam dispel certain groups, and that's how you do it. But evidently that just doesn't sit well with the raiding public of Turtle WoW. Maxima, I'm not saying you shouldn't be rewarded for high DPS. I'm just saying, as a group progging there, the fact that we can already out DPS a mechanic, whereas that's something that I feel like you should be rewarded for after fully progressing, and now the content's more trivial because you're more well geared, right? I think that's more where I'm like, I don't know. And I swear, man, if the team can just put something in for the useless catch to like do in your bags, whether it's like make animal food or make like fish bait or make chum buckets. I wish there was something more we could do with the fish we don't need. Fish fees. Well, here's it, Bowie. I do not want to step on the toes of mages who I believe should have the supremacy of being able to provide food for a raid. Because otherwise you bump into the retail world where the ability for mages to make food and water just doesn't matter. No, and Maxim, you're absolutely right about that. I'm just saying my experience as a raider going through that, I didn't think that I would already have access to DPS harder ignore mechanic yet. That's where I'm at, because like, for instance, when I first progged Nax, right? Our group didn't have a high enough DPS to get Galuth before Decimate. But when we progressed enough, we were able to blast through him before he even did a Decimate, right? So I think that's more of what I was more like expecting. It's still a fine strategy. Like, I'm fine with it happening. I kind of wish that it happened after I progged more of Kara 40. And yes, the ceiling for how much crazy gear you can put on characters is here, right? I think Chum would be great. I definitely wrote a long dissertation to the Turtle team about how Chum could work. Make it part of survival even. You take bycatch, fish that you're not going to use, right? You chop them up like you would for real fishing. And it takes a lot of them even. I mean, anything, because look at this, like, the hell am I going to do with 94 raw spotted yellowtail? If I cook all 94 of these, not only will it like take me 10 minutes, but I'll have gained like 3 silver from doing it. So there's really nothing you could do with them. I mean, it's valuable for hunter food, I guess. It's level 35, so that's nice, right? You want 45 food for most pets, but when you're leveling up, that's okay. Oh, I have an open question here, because there's something that I got confused by, and I even made a bug report about, because I think it's messed up. If I go to... They might even have some on the auction house. Let me see if I can get this. It's the only way I know to check this. So, there is an item that drops off of elk all around Azeroth called stag meat. Okay, so stag meat, look at the tooltip here. It says meat, it says stag. It just has a vendor value, right? Now this is actually a reagent. They actually have a recipe in the game for like something venison, I believe. I might even be able to find it. Now, here's the reason why I bring this up. Keep in mind what you saw with stag meat. So this is also considered, well, this is a fish, but it's, you know, it has a level on it. and it has a how much you gain while eating it while sitting, right? Now, oh, there's the lean venison. It requires a couple stag meat, but stag meat, however, I can't feed to a pet. Now, I made a bug report about this, being like, this feels like it should have a level, and it should have an, like, even if it's lower level, which I think it should be, shouldn't it have a level, and it should have an amount you gain from eating it raw? Now, the response I got on the ticket was, your pet's probably too high level and doesn't like this. I'm like, well, how do I know the level? I can't know the level of this. Is it even edible at all? At a low, like, I'm not going to make a hunter get to like level 10 and see if he likes it. Judging, you could turn them in during the gates opening event. Yellow spotted tail, raw, oh, maybe it was the cooked version. This item, raw spotted yellowtail, could be turned in for AQ event. Anyway, all I'm saying is that this feels like it's a meat item. You should be able to feed it to pets, and you can't. I don't think, because it doesn't have a level and it doesn't have an amount you gain from eating it yourself. Can anyone think of an item that a hunter pet can eat that doesn't have a level entry on it and or a amount you get from eating it yourself? Does that item even exist? Haxer, I did make a bug report. I'm not trying to dunk on anyone here, okay? I want that to be clear. But I will show you guys the bug report I made. Search for stag. Here's my bug report. I just explained everything I explained to you. And then the response I get works proper. My guess is your pet doesn't like the meat due to its low level. Here's what stag meat looks like. Here's what roasted quail looks like. I haven't heard back on this one. So just to double check something here right now. I'm going to go here. I'm going to buy one of these. I'm going to grab it, put it in my inventory. Because maybe it's a PFUI thing, right? So again, I'm showing you. When I mouse over, it just says stag meat. I'm going to go to add-ons. I'll even disable. I'm going to have to reset the client, but I'll put these all back on after. Okay, see, look, I'm in the vanilla UI. My stag meat. Oh, you can't see that. Let me just move it here. Stag meat. That's all it says. Okay, so this isn't a UI issue either. Why does this not have a level? And I'm just trying to brainstorm. Is there food that hunter pets can eat that doesn't have a level? Or doesn't have the little tag under it that says, restores X amount of health. You must remain seated while eating. Go back over there. You belong over there. Raukangren? I mean, even that would work. Anything you could do with, like, bycatch would be great. Haxer, I'm glad you see that it is item level 23, but how would a player know this? And that isn't how any of them work, by the way. The way it's supposed to work is that all the food items you can feed to pets I think they work at 5 increments. I can't think of a single hunter pet food that I've had that wasn't a 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. There might even be 55s as well. You don't... Okay, so I know I don't see item level in vanilla. Okay, I'm there with you. But how can a hunter know that their pet doesn't like it because of the item level? Because the stag meat comes from elk in Hyjal as well as elk in Stone Talon Mountains. So they have no idea where that... If they didn't do Stone Talon Mountains, they go to Hyjal, they're like, what is stag meat? Why doesn't my animal want to eat it? Well, what level is it? I don't know. But all the hunter pet food, I'm telling you, I think every single hunter pet food you can feed them always has an item level entry on it. So if it is meant to be fed to them, it should have that. If it doesn't, that's fine. Just, you know, I guess it's just misleading. Even if there are multiple stag meat items, I'm not even concerned about that. I'm just saying the item stag meat by itself is just misleading. It like, am I crazy on this? And I don't think there is a single item that doesn't have a level on it that you can feed to pets anyway. But that is made into a food. Like, I think there's crispy spider meat, right? That can be made into like spider leg stuff. Also, it's interesting that only with the vanilla UI do I actually get to hear the real cast sound. Haxer is there. And if they are few and far between, maybe that's something that should not be. But I can't think of one. Right, exactly, Haxer. And that's how players know what they can feed their pets. If there are items you can feed your pets that are inedible to players, they're not going to ever use it for that because they don't know what level it is. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if it's an item that you can't, like, eat, still having it... Well, I guess because you can eat it when you sit down. But it's sort of like a... Now I'm trying to think of a hunter food pet item that doesn't have a level on it. But I know for a fact is a hunter food pet item. Obviously, all the fish have it. Well, I hate this. I hate this UI sometimes. Yeah, these all have entries, right? There apparently is 39 items like that. What search in the database did you put in to get that? Now I'm curious about that. Or is that a GM command? You did, like, you know, look up item without level entry? Yeah, it's got to be. Because the database the players and the community has access to is... Yeah, I'm happy we have it, but it's not great. Also, what happened to you? You got all smoky and blue, Nephaloma. You okay? Like pet your dragon. Yes, this is Vrograg's every day, teaching. Maybe I'm fishing to entertain the dragon. You filtered for food type and no use effect. All right, let's go. So, items. Trade goods. Consumables? Hold on. Still fishing. Food and drinks. Interesting. It classifies those as food and drinks. Well, that's an average Turtlewell database for you. Axer, is it okay to show that off? Also, I just realized Nephloma said something, but because of where my screen is, I can't see it. Let me, hold on, let me just... I need to get back into PFUI. It's going to bother me. All right, I'm going to take a look at that. Also, Haxer, what about that first picture you sent me? What about that first one? That one will get the blood pumping. All right, we're back in. We're back in, people. That's not okay to show. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, we'll take a look at this one now. No, we'll save that image. Okay, we're just going to zoom in on this. All right, so these are food items. All right, zesty clam meat. Let's take a look at this one first, right? Because this one I think I have in my bag. All right, zesty clam meat does not have an item entry level, but is classified as a meat. Interesting. That is the highest level one I could find. Tender crab meat, tender spider meat, heavy kodo meat. Okay. I mean, if this is just a function of vanilla and I just didn't know, that's fine. I genuinely am like, what are you talking about? There's no item on these. There's no item level. So that does answer our question. Now, has anyone played a hunter? And can someone confirm that zesty clam meat can be fed to your pets? If that's the case, I mean, zesty clam meat should go for a little bit more than 5 silver, because, I mean, this is essentially roasted quail. And it's obtained in much larger amounts. Bowie says pretty sure it can. All right, I believe you. Again, a lot of what I did with Hunter, with Rexana, was like, I was learning about Hunter. Some people who watched along on those streams will remember I didn't know pet trainers were a thing until like level 40. Because there's nothing in the game that tells you there's pet trainers. Like literally not a single quest, not a single like NPC tells you, oh, go to the pet trainer now. Everything else, there is at least some kind of tutorial that points you in that direction. Nothing tells you about pet trainers. So, I mean, if it's just a limitation of the game, like, it doesn't show an item level because a player can't eat it, am I crazy for thinking that there should still be a way to see the item level? it could be a good way to signal to hunters that, hey, this is an item you can feed your pets. Like, I've gone as far as I have, and I had no idea that I could even do that. I don't think I even tried it. Meanwhile, you know what most hunters do? Especially while they're leveling up? They go to a major city and they look for an orange table. Even if they're not level 60, they grab 80 oranges and they hope they have a pet that likes fruit. This is one of the great joys of leveling up with a bear pet. I'm like, oh, well, I have this food that you're going to love. But evidently, that the level of the item isn't a required level. So, like, a bear can just eat level 60 oranges. Also, just to let you guys know, right? I can't share it, but Haxer did tease me by showing me the new build, the new talent tree for hunters. So I can't share it, but I'm looking at it going, if only I knew more about hunters, I'd know what all those icons meant. Yep, monkeys. I think bats do fruits as well. I think there's one other animal type that does fruits. I can't remember, though. Yeah, responding to what you said, though, Haxer, without spoiling anything, yeah, the biggest strength as it stands for hunters, if you're going to do melee, you really want the thing that's going to give you more agility and attack power from your agility. And if you want to do beast mastery, you need the stuff that scales up your pet. So it may be, I don't know, maybe Voji's just gaslighting me. Wouldn't be the first time. I don't have access to that stuff, do I? I would love to look at those things and at least for the classes I know about offer some guidance, but I mean, I'm not very authoritative. And class council doesn't really exist anymore. But I feel like now that Blizzard's looking for me, I feel like that might heighten my qualifications. Oh, and by the way, technically the 28th was the last day I could have officially told Google not to give Blizzard my information. They're gonna swap KC and Weenie Shot. I never used Weenie Shot because I don't use ranged weapons. I use thrown weapons, so I don't even know what Weenie Shot does. Although I have used Kill Command. Kill Command's fun. But in the build that I use, I can't use Kill Command because I favor a little bit more the survival side. I take none of the trap talents. I just beeline for the agility talent, and then I try to give everything else to my bear. I can say this, the damage is terrible. Okay, so Haxer, so I don't have access to it, but like, what if I could have access? Let me come on, crazy. I don't even know what at this point I could even add. I think the only one I really have any real input on is Elemental Shaman. And I think it's pretty clear what needs to happen to Elemental Shaman. It's not a mystery. But I think otherwise, Elemental Shaman are in a fine spot. Like, if you ignore all the fire stuff, they're they're doing good. Although, Haxor, I still believe, I haven't been able to prove it or do testing on it because I've just been busy with other stuff or just too lazy. I still think Earthshock has a threat. Oh, sorry, not Earthshock. I think Earthquake has a threat, an added threat on it, on the modifier. Yeah, I pretty much am Haxor. Yeah. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, like, because we're progging and we have to try as hard as we can to do the best damage we can, I have to go fire. The damage differential is night and day, especially for bosses. I don't like the gameplay, but I can't argue with number go up. I prefer doing nature damage, but I also recognize raiding is like a team activity. And when you're doing really difficult content, you owe it to your team to do the best that you can do. So I kind of feel forced. Turtle WoW heads when Paladin is in the OP one. I've spoken a little bit. I haven't raided much as Rogue, but even I could tell that Dissolvent Poison's too strong, and some of it's a little bit too strong. But I am also comfortable and happy that Rogues are at the top of the DPS charts for Melee because of a plurality of reasons. But from a game design perspective, they add the least utility. They can only do DPS reliably. So, like, what else can they do other than be like, you don't want them to be the mediocre damage dealers because then there's not much reason to bring them. So having them be a top tier damage dealer makes sense. Yeah, Haxor doesn't work on the all the fun stuff. He works on all the boring but important things, like your launcher and your. Are you doing the new raid UI for this patch? I know that's something you guys have been working on in the background. You've talked about it a little bit, but Maxim, I didn't say it was balanced. I just said it's okay for them to be on top, but I just don't think they should be as strong as they are. Don't misconstrue my words. Because even I can look at that and go like, yeah, that's too much. I will say, Blade Flurry being a toggle is a godsend. It has been so great for rogues to like meaningfully contribute to cleave damage on a whim, like their warrior counterparts can. Has been massive. I thought someone on the team was working on like a new raid UI. I just assumed it would be you. Because it's a boring but important thing. Okay. Can you say who's been doing it? Because I kind of want to poke them about a couple things, but I can't remember who it was. I'm trying to think. No, I mean, also another thing, in some of the team workflow areas, they've changed a lot of their names, so a lot of times I don't know who I'm talking to, which is very frustrating. Okay. Also, it's funny. Fleur, this whole time I didn't know that's here's a good example. Fleur, I didn't know that's the tag you were using in the workflow area. So I'm just like, I feel like I know this person, but I don't know who they are. It's hard to keep track. Bye, Nephaloma. Thanks for dropping by and making me feel like I was teaching a dragon how to fish. Evidently. And it was hard enough as it was because I'm not great with names. So, like, there were some people I've met on a trip, right? And I can't remember if there's some people I met and just didn't talk a lot to. And there's some people that just weren't where I met them. Like, cool. I will say it was bizarre, though, because then there's a bunch of strangers that know what I look like. And they're like, oh, Vrograg! I'm like, you... You... Guys, I'm pretty excited, though, for my birthday. I know I told you that for my birthday party, because it's a big one, because it's a prime number birthday, which is what I celebrate, I'm going to a paint bar, and I've invited all of my much more artistically talented relatives to paint a Bulbasaur. I might have, like, a Bulbasaur gallery later. I'm very excited for this. Haxer, a paint bar is... I'm guessing it's more of an American thing if you have no idea what it is. Maybe they exist in other spots in Europe, but essentially, you have like it's sort of like a party, right? And then you have like a host for the party at like an establishment, and they're usually like trained art students, and they show you how to paint certain things. And you have your own easel, your own paint supplies, and then you get some drinks, and you hang out with friends, and you follow along and make a painting. That's pretty much all you do. It's surprisingly great. Like I was a little circumspect. I did one like last year at like another friend's birthday party, and I had a blast. So this year I'm like, I want to do a paint bar. Oh yeah, judging if you don't know, you haven't watched my content very much. I have a good affinity for Bulbasaur. You can't see it that well, but there's even an LED neon glow light back there. Well, I think I can... I'll turn this off. You can probably see it better. Nope, the sunlight's too strong. But yeah, it's just like a stupid little hobby I have where I collect Bulbasaurs. I mean, the reason it's called a paint bar is because they have a liquor license and you can buy drinks. Which I guess in the European consciousness, you guys can just get drinks everywhere. So maybe it's less of a thing. Also, Murrog's been getting into, there's like a little bit of a fad going on, at least in our area, where it's like paint by numbers. Right, and you're thinking like, oh, like I know about that kind of stuff. I've done that like when I was a kid, but it's like for adults, and so like they give you like these paint sets, and it's much more catered to like an adult audience. So it's pretty cool some of the stuff she's been making. And they also, oh, I don't know if I even showed this off. For Murrog's birthday, which was a couple weeks ago, we went to, it's something similar to a paint bar, actually. It's essentially where you take pre-finished clay, like stuff that's been pre-fired, and then you put glaze on it. So it's a little bit like it's like you're painting clay, you know, a vase or like, you know, whatever. I found they had an octopus, and I painted it in Bulbasaur colors. This is what I made. So it's my Octosaur. Because I don't want to say Bulbapus. Well, that's in my grand collection now. Because, I mean, you guys, if you guys have also watched my stuff, you know that I'm not a big fan of giant game publishing corporations. So I'm not really a big fan of Nintendo either. However, since I like Bulbasaur, that puts me in a weird spot. However, there's this great website called Etsy where people make all sorts of things. And I've been able to find all kind of goodies, including like some Bulbasaur style keycaps, like a stained window Bulbasaur thing. I have like a Bulbasaur beanie cap. There's all sorts of things. And the best part is, because it's all like Etsy, Nintendo don't have the time or wherewithal to get all the people making Bulbasaur designs. So I encourage all my relatives, because like every year it's like, what do you want? Just let the Bulbasaur. But now I could say, but I probably have everything you can get in retail, so just look on Etsy. And I bet you treasure it, Haxer. Because whether it's a kid or it's a spouse you love very much, there is something special about when someone makes something for you. Even if it is derpy and ugly. Now it brings me back to actually a previous question I had, because I still don't know about this. I'm still trying to think of like a good spot to farm Velcloth. Oh wait, crap, my line just did the glitch thing. I just want Velcloth. Hey, who else is fishing? Oh, wait, no, that's the glitch one. Okay, we're good. All right. So it looks like the highest drop rates is from guys in Dire Maul, really. These are the guys from Hyjal, I think, the ones that say undefined. These are the elite ones up in Winter Spring. Are these not elite? I don't know. Bile Busk. And these are the ones in Fellwood. Only 3%. That's not that great of a chance, of being honest. So yeah, I guess Dire Maul is actually the ideal spot. And this is why I need so much. This takes 6. That's pretty tough. The boots are 4. And the belt is 2. So 6. So I need 12. Right now it's going for like a little less than 8, but if I calculate it as 8 times 12. Yikes. Yikes. Maybe all my stone scale will pay for it. Also, this is kind of weird. How come there's a Stygian set, right? And the Bone Amulet doesn't give shadow resistance, and the Buckler doesn't give shadow resistance. Fellclop drops in chests, doesn't it? I don't know. Does it? Well, I mean, Haxer, for that to be true, you need more satyrs and or succubi, which are usually the two things that seemingly drop it. I think some of the Doom Guards might drop it too. 6 gold a stack? Really, for solid stone? Damn. I used to get 10 Fellcloth for 30 minutes of farming in Hyjal. You think they nerfed it? Oh, wrong window. If we're just going off of what's on here, right? So it is organized by this. Doomguard Commander, those guys aren't really pushovers in Hyjal. Oh, that's Blasted Lands anyway. All the ones you'd be looking at would be these. These ones that are an undefined area, I think. And the Vile Musks as well. Even though it says Winter Spring, I think these are Hyjal. The Vile Musks. So at 4%, maybe it wasn't nerfed as much as it was corrected because it was giving too much because it wasn't supposed to. Drops in Concavius bag. Darian, thank you. I should... You know what? I need 12 of them. Therefore, I need to go kill a world boss. I mean... It's contained in a Void Link Satchel of Goods, which comes from Concavius. And according to this, you have a 3% chance of getting 2 to 4. Which, surprised they don't do more with this. I don't think I've ever killed Concavius either. He has a special item that is really cool that I always wanted for rogue tanking, believe it or not. It was... this one. It's a 1% additional chance for poisons. Band of Ancient Lethality. Has 1% attack speed, 1% hit, 15 agility. So it's not like a bad rogue ring. If you're like focused on a poison build, like I can see how this could be effective. Charm of Dark Dominion. Hold on, wait. Increases damage dealt by your pet by 3%. Would that work with hunters? Guys, I think I know who I have to do this boss with. Do you think Concavius is up? I mean, I don't need the damage and healing to spells. I don't really need the int or the shadow resistance, but 12 agility is not bad. It's not, listen, it's not Presters. I didn't even know this item existed. I guess I was never really thinking about it or looking for it. You guys want to go check it out? You guys want to go check it? Maybe he's up? Well, who can get there quickest? Vrograg, you've been fishing for a while. You can take a break. You're saying Fade Leaf is selling for 65 silver a unit? I could check what my data point says too here. Let me see. They sell the... Yeah, all right, let's go here. Let's do Fade Leaf. This will be up to the 24th, I believe. So we'll see. Let's see what it gives us. No, wait, it's not done yet? What the heck? Now, believe it or not, this is actually a more moderated price. Just saying. It has been worse before. I'm not saying it should be this price, but... Yeah, I mean... I like being... Oh, hey, hey, Turtle Team. Hey, Turtle Team. Hey, Turtle Team. Why am I drowning? Just asking. I'm just asking questions here. Why am I drowning? Oh, let me see. I'll put on my deep dive helmet to prove that it's underwater breathing issue. Okay, so it's because I'm too high up in the mountain. Really? Well, when I go higher, it's not an issue. See that? It's right here. When I go down the mountain, that my breath becomes an issue. There's another spot like that too. I know making expansion areas isn't easy. If you farm the Arathi stone elements, you get good elemental earth and solid stone, crazy good gold. You know where I actually like, because I like doing instance farming, spots where like I can like see how to get to certain mobs, and you should try Mordon and kill the Theridrim shardlings. They're actually a pretty good source of solid stone as well as elemental earth and core of earth, which is needed for getting more elemental earth. You guys, if Concavius is up, what should I do? Oh man, am I still in? I think I'm still in Dragon Watch, which is like Nordnar's world boss group coalition. I mean, you know, getting dismounted is annoying, but could you imagine just like if you happen to like dismount right there and you weren't paying attention and your character drowns? God forbid it was a hardcore, right? At least the breath meter shows up pretty quickly. It doesn't wait till you start drowning to show up. Yeah. So Cyborg, what I do know about that on the back end is that when the team makes like new props, new maps, stuff like those, they're made in these little entities. I think they're called WMOs, I think. There's a couple different formats for them. And sometimes if they're not made right, or they're made like a little too cluttered, they will just nom on your FPS. Well, on that note, Maxim, I actually did notice something strange recently, because generally, when I saw someone who there's a notification. I actually posted this to the team as well. There was a unfortunate fatality in a hardcore, and it said they died of natural causes, which that's supposed to be drowning, fall damage, or lava, I believe. I said, did you go AFK in the water? He's like, no, I was running away from an enemy and I died in the water. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, were you drowning? He's like, no, I jumped into the water when running from an enemy. He just killed me in the water. And I'm like, oh. But the world announcement said natural causes. So I mentioned to the team, I don't know if there's any way of like checking what really happened. But if that was the case, that means if you see died from natural causes, do me a favor, right? See if you can message. Don't be a jerk, right? Don't be like, haha, get good, scrub. Why'd you die in the water, idiot? Don't do that. Just be like, hey, RIP. Yeah, water is a really bad hazard. And see if they take see if they're going, no, I didn't drown. See if they take that, because I'm curious if there's something going on with that. I think in many respects, hardcore chat has kind of taken over that role, Maxim. But yeah, I mean, back when the server was like sub 2K all the time, someone died in hardcore, we all kind of mourned. What do you mean the server, Haxer? There's many the servers. Although I think the hardcore community on Telebim's a little different. It's silent runnings the whole time. You don't want the other faction to know where you are. I have heard some rumor. I mean, again, this is something that I have to look into. I just didn't have time for it. But that people were essentially sanctuary abusing. So there are spots where even on a PvP server, if you're in that area and you're there long enough, you'll lose your flag. These are called sanctuary zones. They're usually cities, I think certain zones that aren't contested. And through a plethora of different ways, people would pull mobs in to those areas and then just kill them. And then, like, PvPers couldn't go and try to kill the hardcores. And then they started getting, like, they would sort of, like, brag about it, which of course they would, which caused, like, this whole thing. I don't know how much veracity there is in that claim, as I never looked into it, but I could see a world where that happens. Just because if you are genuinely trying to level normally as a hardcore on a PvP server, that is, you pretty much got to be a rogue first off, right? Like you have to be able to hide. Does anyone remember the old Chandrilar area that the Turtle Wild team half did and then didn't do anything with? I think they're all gone now. RIP to the Chandrilar. The original Chandrilar. They used to be right over here. There used to be a label called Renathalas? Yeah, it's gone now. I imagine all the NPCs are gone now, too. I wonder if they left their tents. It would make for a good guild base. Not that they make any. I did, does anyone know the guild Nephilim? I was doing, sometimes I like exploring and checking out stuff, and I found a guild base from Nephilim off the coast of... well, I can find it on the map if I look. It was... It was up in the mountains here, and it was like over here somewhere off the coast. So like, it was like on the coast around here. Now, it wasn't like the Tab C base. It was like there was like more Reventusk trolls there too. It was really weird. Oh, Maxim, I do miss being able to see Zul'jin. They had his voice lines in too. I felt like such a cool forest troll when I got to see him. We haven't seen him for years at this point, but I have a good feeling he's going to be coming back at some point as well. Hello, Drado. How's it going? Yeah, Haxer, I saw that picture that Skenzo made. That thing was amazing. Lionel Schramm, the artist. Amazing. It tells such a story, because it looks like they have a Loa that the Scourge had, like, corrupted or controlled somehow. We're going to use that to fight the trolls in Zul'Aman. Oh, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. That's really a continuation of that story, the old story with the Amani Allure trolls trying to join the Horde. And according to the lore in Turtle WoW, from what I remember of the quest, I remember this quest. It was really cool. The forest trolls want to gain entry into the Horde, and the rules are you need unanimous consent from all the faction leaders. So, like, Thrall's like thumbs up, Vol'jin's thumbs up, Cairn is thumbs up. I believe you had to talk to one of the goblins. I can't remember, but he was like, yeah, cool. I think, if that even happened. But you had to go talk to Sylvanas. It might turn out, guys, that Sylvanas doesn't have a great history with the forest trolls, and was like, over my animated corpse. Like, she was like, no, hard no. And so that was like the tension there in that story. And there was like more stuff you had to do, but seeing that picture that Lionel Schramm made, it made me think back to that storyline where I'm like, so maybe the common ground that the Forsaken and the Forest Trolls can have is like, because of Zul'Aman happening, where like the Scourge straight up attack Zul'Aman, then the Forest Trolls and the Scourge can have like an enemy together, and like there's only one way into a Scourge's, to a Forsaken's heart, and that's with hatred. So like, if they can agree about what they want to kill, there's a chance then that the Forest Trolls could join. Of course, it's the undead. It's always the undead. I mean, Cyborg, I don't know what to tell you, man, but like, I feel like if there was like a semi-sentient army of undead roaming my lands, that would be my enemy. Yeah. And I say that as an orc. I don't even have any in my backyard, you know? I mean, I don't like demons. But, you know, demons seem like an ineffable elemental part of existence, whereas like the undead just seem like a more existential threat. I guess the demons are too to a certain extent, but I guess fighting the demons is a little harder. It's like, they're both bad, don't get me wrong. There's something perhaps more perverse about the undead, because like they can just take dead people and just make them into soldiers. Like with the demons, they need like a host. They need people like willing to help them to come to Azeroth. Ed, congratulations on getting your shaman to 28. I am so sorry, because you're gonna have to do your is it your... Oh, maybe you've already done it. Have you already done your water totem quest? And if you had, I'm sorry. It's tough. A lot of traveling on that one. You know, I'm trying to, like, vibe out and remember where Concavius is. I don't know if I can remember. Hold on, wait. DB Concavi... Oh, he's that way. Okay, I was going the right way. Did you have a mage help you, Ed? That is the suggested way. A lot of, go to this continent. Ah, go to this continent. Now go to this continent. Respect, man. Respect. That is a very annoying quest to do. But water totems are great. The good news is when you go to do your air totem quest, you're going to talk to a guy. He's like, hey, see that guy across the way? Yeah, go talk to him. And your air totem quest is done. It's great. Compared to the water one anyway. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't want to be such a stick in the mud about this stuff, but it always kind of bums me out when people just like elite tag their way to level up a toon. I mean, it's just, I think the game has so much more to offer players than experiencing it that way. I always kind of get bummed when I'm by the way, I'm not like disappointed or mad at you for doing that. I just wish it didn't happen and it wasn't so obviously a clearer and quicker way to do things. Yeah, this was all the Ronathalas stuff that's all now gone. So they cleaned out the whole area. Oh, yeah, and I wasn't even accusing you of doing it anyway, really. I was just thinking about all the people I've heard that do it, right? It's like, oh, well, I have a level 60, and then I have my level 20 tag a level 30 elite, and then my level 60 kills it for, 40 levels. It's like, dude, really? All right. Did I landed in the wrong... I can't get back over there, can I? Give me Concavius. Man, now I gotta take a bird from Thunder Bluff over to Desolus again. Yeah, Ed, I'm pretty much with you there too. Like, I mean, you guys saw me level up Rexana pretty much, right? And that was fun. Like, I had a great time playing with my wife, just leveling, grinding, doing quests. It definitely wasn't as quick, maybe, as other ways. I think the tents take a lot of sting out of that, but... I can't believe I literally stepped over and went to the wrong spot. Maxim says, I wonder if it's documented somewhere. It probably is in the database somewhere, but I just can't remember the name of the quests. Let me get on a bird and I'll take a look, because I could probably suss out where it is if it's still in there. I mean, that was like, I don't know, 1.15, so it was a while ago. Because they removed him pretty early on in Turtle Wild development from when I started. All right. Okay, so maybe if I do... All right, so Zul'jin is still in the game, right? See, he isn't connected to any of the quests, and I know he was needed for a quest. So maybe it's not in there anymore. I'm trying to think if I could remember. reward. And then a quest. Alright, these are all the AQ War event stuff, so that's not really needed. So it's probably one of these. Maybe it's still in Thrall? No, I don't see it. Yeah, I think it's gone. Very sad. Yes, ancient server history indeed. I mean, there's still stuff that are like left over from like the long ago days, but I think if it's involved NPCs they have actively changed or done stuff with, that it's just gone. Like there are still there's like pets in the game that like very early server history. There was like a pet that was like I think Torta made as like a favorite of someone who lost a pet. You know, I mean, think about it this way. I mean, we saw a Rodfather here a little while ago, right? Imagine someone playing Turtle WoW 3 years from now and sees the Rodfather NPC at Hyjal. They'll have like no idea who that is, likely, especially if they haven't been on the server long. So like, and sometimes that stuff I feel is what makes Turtle WoW feel so much like a living place. I know there is a memorial somewhere in Wintergrasp, I think, for back in 2020, maybe 2021, someone that passed away. So yes, there is much ancient server history here. Tamamo no Me. I think, wasn't Tamamo the one who did a lot of like the more Asian-inspired like quest hub stuff and some of the early lore about like Pandaria still existing? I don't know where all that is, honestly. It wasn't something that really like attracted me or something I was that interested in, but yeah, okay. Wait, was Tamamo the one that did the... Who was doing the Shenjalar? But then, like, left the team. There was, like, a whole thing. I don't want to get into the drama of it. I just can't remember who it was. You could still dig it up in the client files. Ah, okay. Okay, this time, guys, I'm not going to accidentally fall into the wrong map. I'm going to find where Concavius is. But I also know that in a lot of ways, Tamamo, I think they were looking for some sort of way to like import new models and stuff into the game, and I think they might have like irreversibly allowed that kind of stuff to happen. Oh, we passed Rexar? Oh, I missed him. Bye, Rexar. Hope you're doing well. Actually, this isn't the character that loves Rexar as much, if I'm being honest. That's Rexana. I kind of do like the Tuskar, too. I mean, Tuskar are canon in Turtle WoW because of the Ice Point Rock. Is there any way to look at dungeon maps without being in the dungeon? I can't think of one now. To Alterac Mountains? Yeah, Alterac Mountains could use a little bit more love. That's the thing, man. There's still plenty to do. And a lot of times it's where the imagination of the developers and the writers want to go, and other times it's It's just like comes from community ideas and contributions. Actually, speaking of that, I have a good thing to talk about. This is that person I was talking to you about before. A guy in my guild. I know him as Tonberry. He did this whole write-up on the forums about why the Sand Fury trolls of Sand Moon Village should have like a temple to see. He even like edited a screenshot where like, oh, that's where the temple should be. He had like all these plans. He's like, we're gonna do a drive. He's like 10,000 solid stone. I actually talked to him. I'm like, maybe not make it solid stone, dude. That's super expensive. But stuff like that, you know, ideas like that can actually help make the world a more alive space. All right, maybe this is the way. Yes, this is the way, because it gets all mushroomy. No, that's a bummer, Haxer. Because I like showing off the Emerald Sanctum Dragon because he looks sexy. He looks sexy. I like him. And this is where Concavius is sometimes when he feels like it. I don't know when he responds or why he responds, but this is where he responds. What do you mean, just tell you there? I'm not on my GM tune. Also, that is a trap, Haxer. If you do teleport Emerald, I think it brings you to the Emerald Nightmare, and then you need a GM to get you out. True story. Ask me how I know. Are there any quests involving Concavius? Or does he just, like, exist? Concave... Nope, no quest. Just dude exists. Fun fact, by the way. He is a being made entirely of shadows, and he only has 30 shadow resistance. I hear Solnius, a green dragon, 100 shadow resistance. Makes you think, doesn't it? Yeah, see, Haxer, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's like an old beta map or something still stuck in the game files that if you don't know what you're doing as a GM and you teleport to it, like, I think it either crashes your client or it's definitely not Emerald Sanctum. I remember getting there. Thank you. Yeah, Emerald Dream. I don't remember what I typed one time when I tried going there, but I did it. I'm like, what is this? This isn't right. Yeah. Anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get Concavius with Rexana so I can get a sweet Beast Mastery neck. That would be something. I have to get back to Booty Beta to sell up all this stuff. Look at all this fish I got. If anyone wants any lobster stew, let me know. I can make some for you. And I have all this zesty clam meat. Good for pets. Evidently. Even though you have no way of knowing that. All right. So, I'm going to wrap up there. I've been going for like 3.5, so that's plenty. I got to get ready for raid. I'll be in Kara 40 tonight. Thank you for all the warm birthday wishes. I I might stream on Monday. We'll see what happens. That's actually when my birthday is. I have the day off, so maybe I will. I have like some appointment. I don't remember what that is, but so until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of one another. When you're playing games, make sure you're having fun. And as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge. Bye, guys.